Barely Breathing Reviews here once again, and I'm catching up on my beer event calendar drinks. The rules are simple: fuck your advent calendar off, you don't need that. Get a crate of 24 beers and have one of those each day instead. And for the 25th, treat yourself to some Pangalactic Gargle Blaster or something. It's the 2nd of December as we record, and I bought this crate 2 hours ago, so cheers. Now that I think about it, I should have brought this crate on the 23rd of December and had a very merry fucking Christmas instead. Anyway, I've got fuck all to do from here until The Force Awakens, so I rounded up the team for round 3. As always, I'm joined by Scott.
Hello and welcome to Barely Banter. I'm sitting here with my Orange Bloom calendar. Second day playing catch-up because we got them today. And we're also joined here by Claire.
Hello, welcome back. I am sat drinking beer. I have got a real advent calendar this year.
You fucking sellout.
It's shots instead.
Yeah, it's 24 miniatures of Jägermeister. I wish it was 24 miniatures of Jägermeister. In fact, I might start mine tomorrow.
Play super catch-up.
Play super catch-up.
Could you imagine if you actually did that, like, for real? You had, say, not a million, a little bit more of it, like the 70 centilitre bottles. Is it 70 centilitres the next step up from a miniature?
Who knows? I don't know.
Could you imagine if you were just like one of these people who just open one up every day from here until Christmas, necked it, and then got in your car before work every day for a month?
It's
I bet the people do that without
Oh.
having to do Christmas. They're called alcoholics.
I need no encouragement, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm feeling festive every fucking season.
yeah, every month is Advent month.
Anyway, shit, we have a show.
I think we should start off by talking about our trip to Comic-Con. Thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Well, before any of that happened, you went to Disneyland.
I did, yes. The weekend after the bombings as well, which was terrifying. There was armed military and police everywhere. The border checks were like crazy. But I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Went with one of my besties. We had ourselves a magical time. It was very good. It was very fun. Lots of Disney-ness, and they have a whole section dedicated to Star Wars, which I really enjoyed.
I was about to ask how heavy was the
I won't
Star
be
Wars.
surprised, especially with the film coming up at the moment, and the fact is they own it now, so they can go nuts on the merchandise.
They had a life-size X-Wing fighter just sitting there all cash. Yeah, it was cool. Got my photo with that.
The film is actually confirmed to be a PG-13 Star Wars Force Awakens because it's going to be... Basically, they said the film is going to be PG-13 because kids are going to try and see it anyway, so we might as well make it available for practically everyone.
They would see it anyway, even if it wasn't 18.
I know, but I think
Explains why there's no red band.
they're
trailers
just
for
playing it extremely safe.
But again, they're Disney, aren't they? So they're going to try and keep to that type of... Is there any other Disney film that is actually highly rated more than PG, though? Or PG-13?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I think the only one that would be above that would be the Pirates of the Caribbean films.
No, even they.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe so. I can have a quick Google right now.
There's a new Pirate of the Caribbean film coming out soon, isn't there?
Not soon, but it's being, I think, 2017.
Also PG-13. Pirates
Really?
of the Caribbean, yeah.
That surprises me.
But
Then again,
even,
they are.
But even in the park, it's dry. You can't buy alcohol or anything. You can smoke in the park, which I found out after I left my fags on the fucking coach. Thanks, Millie, for that. But yes, it was a magical time. It was beautiful.
And then what was, I'm guessing, an extremely long coach trip later, you finally landed in Comic-Con.
Hell yeah, I did. Dressed as Frodo Baggins from The Hobbit. I looked adorable.
You looked rough as fuck.
I felt rough as fuck. I was so tired. And I was covered in random bruises as well. I didn't even know where these came from.
You look like a victim, to be fair.
I felt like a victim.
Obviously, the rehypnol they gave you worked very well.
Oh, it was perfect, man. It was those brief moments of unconsciousness really,
Really complimented the rehypnol you took yourself.
Just try and forget about that long journey.
I really enjoyed Comic-Con.
It
My
was
first Comic-Con ever. I will happily go again.
Of course, we played the drinking game. I got very drunk.
Oh god, I was hammered.
You were quite wasted as well,
We
weren't
were
you?
all fucking
You saw your
wasted.
Metal Gear guy.
Oh, I was so happy. I don't know how many years I've been going. I've never seen a Metal Gear Solid guy. Do you know what? I saw a few others there. There was actually a few other ones, but they went with the face paint one, so they didn't go as an actual Metal Gear Solid character. They went as the ones where you can create your own. So you might have seen the guys who are like black with the white face skulls and stuff like that, dressed in army. There was a few other ones there as well, but at that point, I never had my beer to down.
So yeah, I'm sure we explained in the first episode about our rules that if you personally pick a character from a fictional anything really, and if you see them, you have to chug a beer. Scott saw his as he explained. I didn't see mine. I went for the coon from South Park.
I can't even remember what mine was.
Who's the Hunger Games?
Wasn't it Orange Was the New Black? Orange is the New Black.
Yes, it was Orange is the New Black, and I saw no one.
We were drunk enough already though, so
I didn't need any
I didn't think
encouragement.
anyone would have gone anyway or something like that. We did see someone as the Hunger Games who was dressed up as the wedding dress. She basically very politely declined for me to set her dress on fire as she span around. I just thought, really go for it. Obviously, she's not a real cosplayer.
No.
She
No.
loses points for that, to be honest.
Oh, definitely.
Not even going all out.
yeah.
If anything, you were being helpful.
I was.
What a bit.
I mean, if I saw someone dressed as Theon Greyjoy, I would expect them to let me chop off their dick.
Who's to say they might have already gone without a dick in the
Yeah.
first place? They chopped it up themselves, holding it round their neck in a little necklace, going, freak.
Would you eat it in front of them?
Pork sausage. No.
It's a sausage.
But yeah, good times. The next one's in March, but definitely going to go to that.
If I can, I'm going to try and get a few of the outfit and dress up as Metal Gear Solid and just hope I don't see a mirror.
Liv Tyler was there as well.
She was. Did you see that? Some of the people tried to take a photo of her, but the security guard kept walking in front of the camera, so they couldn't actually do it. But few people did, of course, get a sneak ones in and all.
I
Really
did.
gets me that.
I got a sneaky, grainy, distant shot of her.
Whee!
We saw Dina Meyer. Do you remember we went into that tent when we were really, really drunk? She was Dizzy in Starship Troopers, and she was Detective Alison Kerry from Saw 1, 2, 3 and 4. She was the one in the angel trap where it had those devices attached to her ribs and she had to stick her hand in the acid to get the key out.
Oh, I remember
Yes,
that one.
yeah. I
That
remember
was her. She's been in loads of things, but they're the only two things I can remember her from, to be honest. I think she was in Piranha 3D. I can't guarantee you that. But that was nice to hear her talk for a bit as I was barely conscious. Yeah.
That Xena dresser, cosplayer.
Oh, she goes basically. You recognise a few of them. Do you know the cyborg from Star Trek? White, lots of cables coming out. The alien predator. Well, you'll end up seeing a few of them, and it's not bad, but you recognise them year after year after year.
They need some fresh faces.
No, I still like it because it's good that they've got the dedication and all that they keep going and wanting to go. And it's just good to see them because a lot of these people they do a lot of interesting acts, like when the whole Stormtroopers taking the photo with them bending down and stuff like that, trying to make sexual acts. They do that all the time and they go and they do that for free. They volunteer for those things. They'll walk around and they have pictures. All these people that you see walking around arresting people, that's them doing it for fun.
That's what
They
I
don't
love
walk
about it.
around. They don't look there shopping or anything like that. They just walk around like that because that's what they enjoy. So it really, really does actually bring a lot seeing the same people over and over again.
My favourite photo from Comic-Con. In fact, here are those pictures now, so enjoy those along with some others. It's the one of me pretending to give that Stormtrooper a blowjob and then getting told off about it afterwards.
You went weird. You bent over in front of him first and then for the blowjob. I mean, I've seen a lot of movies of that nature, and it's usually the other way around. But
Or maybe she's into an ATM.
I'm out of practice, man, clearly. Oh, Paris is beautiful. It really was.
But yeah, overall, great time. Loved it as always. Reliably fun. Can't wait for the next one. Right then, a couple of days ago, I watched Mockingjay Part 2.
Yeah, you did.
Now, I know you two are dying to talk about this, so shall I give my opinion on it, and then we'll go off that? Or
Yeah, I have things to say about it
okay.
as well. If you haven't seen it, there are going to be some spoilers in this.
It's only in our nature to accidentally give spoilers in this, just by the sheer nature of the conversation. We'll do our best, but no promises. Anyway, when the fuck did it become almost mandatory to divide a normal-sized book into two films? It happened with Twilight's Breaking Dawn and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And here we are with Mockingjay Part 2, which, albeit is a perfectly adequate film, I mean the acting is okay, despite Jennifer Lawrence's look of devastation are exactly the same if she trod on a snail or had her immediate family murdered in front of her. She doesn't seem to have much range on that, it's just one face for all levels of bad things that happen. Despite that, though, her and Julianne Moore definitely did the heavy lifting in the film. Other characters that played a heavy part in previous movies get fuck all screen time. Effie Trinket and Caesar Flickerman, for example, are the ones that immediately come to mind. Which was annoying. The second act, again trying to remain spoiler-free, which is the part from where they're dropped off into the capital to the part where they're at the mansion gates, is awesome. The combat, even though it was cramped into about 10 minutes midway through the movie, is brilliant and probably the best in the series overall. As you both know, the pods, which are basically traps that were laid down all around the capital to kill rebels, were a good spectacle to watch, but I thought they lacked creativity. All they did was a flood, guns on the wall, fire, spikes coming from the floor, and powerful rays of light from the ceiling. Not really original. And when we saw where they were laid out around the city, there were literally hundreds of them scattered everywhere, which, from when we were hinted at by President Snow that they were going to be made, seemed to be thought of, strategically placed, and built in what I'm guessing was under a week, which I don't see as possible. It would take so much more than that. There was practically fuck all character development. Part 1 seemed to have kept that aspect of the series. It felt like they got the character development part out of the way so that they could focus on whatever it was they wanted to in part 2. Apart from Peter, I guess, but he didn't really evolve, he just returned back to how he was. He didn't really learn anything. But yeah, going back to it, the movie was too fucking long overall. I mean, I would be surprised if anyone would argue against that. Some dialogue scenes were like dragged out so fucking much it was untrue. I mean, I would have much preferred it if they maybe dragged out the combat sections a bit instead of that ending. Holy fucking shit, that ending. It wasn't a Return of the King style ending, although I gave much more of a shit about those characters. I mean, I didn't really feel connected, or certain characters had died, or if even all of them, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have given a shit if President Snow would have won, I wouldn't have given a shit if Coin won, because I wasn't really invested in the characters at all. I was just sitting there and just watching it unfold. But yeah, I remember thinking, oh my god, just please fucking end. I'm actually sounding like I didn't like the movie at all. I did, but it lacked imagination in some places. And even the mutts looked like the product of a three-way between a licker from Resident Evil, a nurse from Silent Hill, and the mouth of fucking Sauron. Yeah, it was too long, but other than that, it was completely fine. Won't be making my best of worst 2015. If you've read the books or seen any of the films, you're going to watch it anyway.
I couldn't disagree with you more. I am reeling over here.
I know, I can tell.
I'm invested in the Hunger Games.
You're the only one out of all of us in this room who's read the books as well. I need to say that as well.
I think that makes such a massive difference. I've read the books, so I am invested in these characters and I'm invested in this story. The film is very close to the book. It starts exactly where it left off, which I really like, because I hate it when films are in 3 parts or have, like you said, I hate it when they split things, like The Hobbit. They split one tiny book into 3.
Knew you were going to mention The Hobbit. Every fucking episode we record, you lay into The Hobbit.
I have serious feels about The Hobbit, man. It starts where it left off. I'm not even going to go into that, man. I'm going to leave it there, because we all know my feelings about the fucking Hobbit. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's such a thin book. It is the thinnest book out of all of the fucking series. I mean, The Lord of the Rings, they are massive, right? The books are massive. The Hobbit is the thinnest book out of all of them, and why the fuck would they split that one into 3 fucking films?
I love how you're pointing at me in rage.
This is the pointy finger of rage. That is what's happening
I'm almost certain the microphone's picking up the pointy finger of rage.
Man. No, anyway, back to the Hunger Games. I need to let The Hobbit go and move on with my life, because it is stopping me from happiness. Anyway, the start, I'll admit, the start of the film is a bit messy. It is. It takes a while to settle into the story. And like when Katniss's voice is healing from when she gets choked, there's bits missing that are in the book between her voice healing and then being dropped off in District 2 to shoot promos. It's a lot slower in the book, but because it's a book, it allows that kind of emphasis. It's allowed to be dragged on because they have time. They have as many pages as they like. In a film, they have to get it within a certain amount, which, yeah, I guess it was a bit long.
It was 137 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a long film, but I can forgive those minor criticisms, and I can point that out, those tiny irks of mine, because I think the film is brilliant. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It takes such a dark turn.
I'm not going to call it a review, but it sounded like I didn't. I actually really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. But it's me, I have to focus on that sort of shit.
The whole film in general is pretty dark, and it's been criticised for this. And it's like, well, the whole nature of it is dark. The things they are trying to say, the messages they are trying to portray are dark, and therefore the film has to reflect that. The book is fairly dark. The things they're talking about are serious and relatable to current events now.
And Battle Royale fans.
And Battle Royale fans, yeah, I love Battle Royale. But, you know, hey Mitch, Woody Harrelson, I think he provides some much needed comic relief.
Quickly, he was brilliant in Kingpin. Have you seen Kingpin?
I
haven't
loved
seen
him in
Kingpin,
Kingpin.
Brilliant. We'll watch Kingpin at some point.
He's a great actor, I really like him.
Anyway,
Oh,
sorry.
and fucking Prim's cat is called Buttercup. Oh, I love that fucking cat. Like, it provided so many lols. Which, they recast that cat. In the first film, it's this black and white cat. And then Nina, the producer, and Suzanne Collins, the author of the books, they thought the cat from the first movie was not the way that it was described in the book. In the book, it's like ginger or yellow, which annoyed a bunch of fans. So they changed it from a black and white one to a ginger one in this movie, just because they can. But yeah, no matter. I think the CGI was really good. Like, the black tar, I thought was done really well.
I didn't think
That
it was done that
Annoyed
well.
me. No.
Did
It
you not
didn't look.
enjoy
It didn't look
No.
real.
It moved and it behaved very similarly to the way it was described in the book. See, this is the thing, because I've read the fucking books, you fucking pikeys, read more, I really enjoyed it.
The problem I had with the oil, secondly, a lot of people were confused if the wires that came out of the oil were a part of the same trap. I did a bit of research, they weren't. It was a separate pod, which could have been better handled. Thirdly, oil's flammable. Could you imagine what a little bit of flame on that would have fucked them up so bad? I hate the fact that it stopped just a step before.
But we're venturing into spoilers
Yeah,
here.
yes,
yeah.
we are venturing into spoilers, sorry.
Yeah.
Carry on, please.
There were some slower parts, like you said. Like, there was only like a little bit of action. But I found, like, when I was watching the film, there were slower bits, and then like a bit of action, and then more slower bits, and a bit. But I think that helped with the pace. Like, if it was all action the whole time, it would get boring in the same way that if it was all slow all the time.
Oh no,
it would
yeah,
get boring.
definitely.
So I think that's important. And when they were underground in the city, I thought the suspense was pretty good. And I said to you earlier, as you said to me, we kind of said it at the same time,
Yeah,
didn't we?
yeah.
That it would reminded us of the Alien films.
Oh no, the underground thing was definitely the best part of the film.
Yeah, I
Right,
really
yeah.
enjoyed it. It was very good. Yeah, but like you, I felt there was too many endings for certain. People that stood out for me, though. Mahershala Ali, I hope I said that right, who plays Boggs. I thought he was brilliant. He plays Remy in House of Cards, and he's great in that
It also
too.
reminds me of the Marshal from Pacific Rim, which you need to watch, by the way.
I know, I'm sorry. But overall, the male characters were really overshadowed by the women. There was a lot of strong female characters in the films overall, but particularly in this last one that I really, really liked. Female empowerment there, which I love. Patina Miller particularly stood out for me. She's only been credited for 5 appearances on screen. She played Commander Paler from District 8. She ended up oh no, that's a spoiler, I can't tell you.
She did well.
She did well.
Yeah.
She did well at the film, yeah. Willow Shields as well, Primrose. She's only 15, and how brilliant was she in it?
Yeah, a lot of good children actors out this generation.
Won't be long till they're all alcoholic and drug addicts, so.
No, that's why they got into acting to begin with.
They'll be joining the
They got-
27 Club.
They've got to pay for their addictions somehow.
Michelle Forbes as well, Lieutenant Jackson. I didn't really know this, but I kind of like recognised her face. She's been in quite a lot. Seinfeld, 24, Lost, Prison Break, True Blood, Battlestar Galactica. One person that I knew was going to be in the film that I was looking for and hoping would have a bigger part was Gwendolyn Christie,
Brienne of Tarth.
Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. Yeah, she was only in like one scene,
Yeah.
That actually really annoyed
She had
me.
about 3 or 4 minutes screen time.
and that was it. And she's brilliant. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it if she wasn't in much, if it was something like brilliant, but
I have a feeling it might have been because that she either wanted to be in it or had to be in it. But she's also in The Force Awakens. She's a big character in that. I'm not going to tell you who, but she's a big character in it. You will not guess who she's playing in The Force Awakens.
Jenna Malone played Joanna Marshall. She was the bold one.
Yes.
Yeah, very dark character. Really enjoyed her.
oh, she was
Yeah.
awesome.
Very good. One slight irk I had with one of the female actors is Natalie Dormer, who I love. She's a brilliant, brilliant woman. I've seen her do better though. But to me, she can do no wrong in my eyes.
No.
Like, not only is she a great actor, she's a super intelligent woman as well. Like, reading interviews and seeing interviews, like, she articulates herself so beautifully, and you can really tell that the woman is, like, educated. Like, she knows her shit. But in this, I did find myself cringing a little bit at some of her dialogue or just some of her general acting, which made me cry a little bit inside because I have so much love for her. Julianne Moore, you've mentioned already, she was great. And of course Jennifer Lawrence herself, which in this film, I fucking loved her. I think she's brilliant. I think she's very talented. And she deserves to get paid way more than fucking Sony give her. Fucking bastards they are.
I think the character of Katniss is very bland and grey.
She's meant to be, though. She's meant to be like that plain Jane character who gets thrown into this whole political battle. She doesn't want to be this person, but the system that is around her has caused her to be this person, and she's having to step up to it. That's the whole point.
It's like the only reason I actually gave a shit about the character is because I like Jennifer Lawrence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
am looking forward to seeing her enjoy.
Oh, without trying to do spoiler alerts, it's like, I would be like, oh no, Katniss, why? I'd be like, why, Jennifer, why? I wouldn't give a shit about the character, just the actor.
Well, we get invested in certain people, don't we? Yeah, for sure. But yes, having read the books, I feel like I enjoyed this film a lot more than you guys did, by the sounds. Like, I guess I appreciated some of the things that they did and how they did it. Because if you go back and read them, some of the ways that it's written are very difficult to transfer onto screen. And I feel they did very well in doing that.
So I actually did enjoy it, though. I didn't actually dislike it that much at all. I didn't like the names of the characters. They started to get to me. It just sounded bogs to sound like toilet clove. It just started to come just words after a while, to be honest. And I really didn't like the names. The traps, again, I agree. I think they could have done a lot more creative stuff, to be honest. It's just the same old bullshit coming
I remember
out of
us
things.
talking about it in the pub after the film. You were like, I just wanted a fuck off robot.
Yeah, I just want it to be called Fuck Off Robot, because the fact is you just look at it and think that's a fuck off robot, and like, you know, they were just shit. They were just terrible.
The character name.
So what you're saying
The character's
is,
name plus the traps, to be honest.
it would have been better if it was more like Pacific Rim, like most films would be.
Fuck off. But no, it's like they had these creatures that they've made. They've got the gas and everything else. They had a lot more interesting things, but guns.
It'd have been brilliant if they were
flamethrowers.
in, like, they got caught in some room and there's no windows and the door's sealed completely shut. And then President Snow was in some really low budget saw maker. I can't do the voice, I'm not even going to try, but it was like, good evening. The room is about to fill with Charlie Sheen's blood. I will only drain the blood once one of you is still alive. And then it just goes through it. Then the fuck off robot gets involved.
The thing is, this is what confused me. They were going through all the things and they're using that hollow thing to find the traps. But they said they're behind the battle. So does that mean there was other people in front of them? Were they behind their own side going in front of them then? Because they said they were staying so many miles far back.
No, you're confusing the different scenes with District 2 from the beginning.
No, when they were going forward to try and hit the mansion, they were using that hollow, weren't they?
Yes, yeah.
But they said they were back, so does that mean that their own soldiers, were they in front of them?
No.
Well, that's what confused
Without
me slightly.
trying to go into spoiler territory again.
To be honest, I'm going to spoil the shit out of it, so I
Fair
don't
enough.
worry about it.
They were in a completely different sector. Because
See, this is what was partly confusing me, because I was thinking, they only got one hollow. They're the only ones who are going through. I was thinking, well, how the fuck are they going to get everyone else through?
Well,
You
no,
know.
because it was a secret mission, wasn't it?
I know, but I was just thinking, in the general, just push forward anyway. Because, of course, they all want to get there, don't they? But it wasn't a secret mission, that was just to do prop. That was just to do footage, wasn't it? And I don't like the whole of this prop footage thing. And it pissed me off with the other characters used, like those two females. They could have done a lot more with them. Like Sync fighting, one
The
ducks
League
while the other one
sisters.
turns.
Yes.
The League Sisters.
They were played by Misty and Kim Orminston. The
I
League
just think they
sisters.
could have done so much more. It's like, these are the best soldiers we got there. These are going to terrify everyone. Within seconds, one of them was down on the floor, which no one gave a shit about when she was screaming in pain while the guy Boggs was dying. Fair enough, he was
Spoiler
dying.
alert!
But the sister was just like, her own sister was the other side, just waiting there.
Right.
We've got to wait till Boggs dies before we can look at you. My own sister dying.
I was very sad when Boggs got blown to shit.
We were doing so well with the no spoilers.
Oh, I was going to spoil the shit out of it. I say that in every single time. I ain't going to fucking do that stuff because I'm not going to do that.
There's one spoiler that really upset me. Well, it didn't upset me because I don't have feelings, but if I had feelings, they would have hurt. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. When fucking Prim died, my god. Like, oh, bless her, she was like the epitome of everything that is pure and good in the world. Damn it, Prim! Why? And why Prim dies and the fucking cat survives at the end?
I was thinking, how did the cat get there? Wasn't it on the ship with them all?
Exactly, how did this cat fucking buttercup?
Oh, I don't know. Yes, spoil it again. When she threw the cup at that fucking cat,
And
Jesus, he just sat there, he's like, fuck off, I ain't moving.
Yeah, sat there all chill, like, come at me, bitch.
Yeah. Knights King style answer.
Yeah.
That fucking cat. How did it get there?
Maybe it was the driver of the fuck off robot.
The cat was the fuck off robot.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, they could have done so much more, so much better, and that was the only bit that really did disappoint me.
No.
And the making of these so-called mutts, they could have made a lot more of the creatures out there.
Like I said, it was the product of a three-way between a liquor from Resident Evil, Nurse from Silent Hill, and the mouth of Sauron.
And the humanoids from The Descent. They were very similar to
Need
those.
to watch that. It's a British film, isn't it?
It is, and
Yeah.
it's so low budget. It's one of those that you'd watch on a Sunday afternoon with a hangover. It's like a throwaway film. You get entertainment value, but it's total brain out film.
I'm assuming they can sense by heat then or something, because you read the books. Does it explain how they see, as they have no eyes?
I don't remember. I read the books a good few years ago now.
I know one of the things was about it. Jamie Oliver read the book in his dyslexia, his first book he ever read. They really bigged that up.
Did they?
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
massively.
I don't see how associating yourself with Jamie Oliver is going to help your brand, but go
No.
for it if you feel like it will.
Maybe he cooked the mutts afterwards and made mutton stew or something.
Mutton stew. Brilliant.
So yeah, more huge fuck off robots are needed. A lot more.
I love how we use fuck off as a unit of measurement.
It can literally mean anything. It could be the size of a car, the size of a house. It could be the fucking Empire State Building.
We don't need meters or the metric system. Fuck it.
How big do you need this wood? Fuck
Fuck
off
off
size.
size.
How big do you want this robot? A couple of fuck offs. Yeah.
And
Would
then
you like
half
to-
a fuck off after that.
Would you like to supersize that? No, I'd like to fuck off that.
Oh, do you know what? That'd be the McDonald's new brand, isn't it? The fuck off size. Just go out with a wheelbarrow full of chips.
And Summers would have a fuck off range of dildos.
Damn right they would. I'd have them all.
Well, the one called the fuck off size. Oh, but no. My favourite character was the Plutarch Heavensby.
Yeah.
Again, I hate the fucking names. Come on, what the fuck is Plutarch Heavensby? Fucking great actor in it. Done by Phil Hoffman. But here's an actually interesting fact. The last few, scenes was actually footage from previous films because he actually died during the making of it.
Yeah.
He was found in February 2004 in an apartment with syringes out of his arm and 2 envelopes of heroin just next to him.
Sounds like a setup to me.
Well, he used to have an
Sounds
addiction.
like our pre-recording podcast ritual.
But no, he used to have addictions. But he did actually say in an interview, when he was 22, he stopped all drinking and like drugs and all of that. But then he ended up taking prescription pills, got addicted, went to rehab for about 10 days, I think it was, and then after that went back onto heroin and then died.
Yeah, very,
Overdose.
very sad. Very sad.
It really is. So during it, at the end, they actually had to change some of the scripts because that speech that hey Mitch, hey Mitch, what the fuck, hey Mitch,
Hey, Mitch!
how the fuck do you say hello to greet someone like that? It's fucking ridiculous.
Sorry, did you see the spoof called The Hungover Games?
Oh,
I did
so
not.
fucking hilarious.
It's a mixture of, well, you can probably guess,
Yeah.
Hangover.
The Hangover and The Hunger Games. I can't remember the name of the character or the actor who did it, but the guy who played Zach Galifianakis' character, Alan,
Oh, he was awesome.
in The Hungover Games, is spot on. I actually thought it was him.
Quite a few times you forget and you generally think it's him. He actually got the mannerisms down so well. He looks so well as him as well.
Hats off to the actor then for doing
Yeah.
his research.
Yeah, and the other guy who got the tooth removed.
Oh, Ed Helms is Stu.
He's not as good. You don't lose that sensation. Really, like think it's him, but he does it very well. Got the mannerisms down, but he just doesn't look as well as that other guy.
Watch it, Wasted. It's brilliant. I've seen it twice. Once sober, once drunk.
Obviously better.
Watch it, Wasted.
Yeah. Phil Hoffman though, he was in one of my favourite films of all time. He was in The Big Lebowski.
Oh, I still need to see that.
Watch it. Oh,
Do you know what?
So good.
We need to write this list down and actually fucking do it and
Yes, we
do
do.
punishments if you don't watch it by the next week or something like that.
Jeff Bridges, I love with all my heart. He's obviously Big Lebowski. Anything with him in it, I'll happily watch. Brilliant.
But yeah, so they used like existing like footage to put him in. Hoffman was actually sharing ideas with the director, Francis Lawrence, and he came up with the idea of basically talking to Katniss, the whole letter scene, but he was actually going to do that verbally towards her. But of course, since his absence, they ended up getting Haymitch to say it within a letter, so they had to change some of the scenes within. He was like the favourite character of it, and I loved how he looked like he did fuck all, but I bet he did a lot behind the scene. He was just like the seed planter. He was a good game master. He walked in, said his little bit, fucked off, and shit happened. He was like, yeah, I'm surprised about that.
Yeah, he planted the seed and let the chaos unfold from there.
It's the thing that I loved about him. He just had that smile, like when, yes, spoiler again, Coin was crying over the loss of what thought was Katniss and all.
Yeah.
And though he just looked at her and smiled, and he's just thinking like, oh, the bullshit, I knew this was going to happen. It's like, yeah, I was right. This was going to happen. This has happened. This is good. This is what I want. For the sounds of it, he planned it so well from the beginning. Really did enjoy him.
Very well written character.
I'm just sad that he didn't have much screen time, and the screen time he did, well, now what's happened.
Yeah.
He reminded me very much of Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. Like, almost to the very end, he wasn't really sure what side he was on. But he played everyone completely.
No, I think he knew what side he was on. And I think he was just playing it because he didn't want Coin to win, but he needed her to get where he did. But as he said, he knew Katniss would do it. So he knew that she wouldn't like withhold up to it. He knew that.
Yeah, he had absolute conviction.
It wasn't any side. He knew exactly what was happening. That's why in the letter he said, you played out exactly basically how I thought you would.
Hoping.
Yeah. So he definitely knew, and he wasn't going to pick his own side because he wanted that freedom for them all. He didn't want to, but isn't it weird? He became brilliant at the one thing he wanted to stop.
I'm remembering now. The book was basically exactly what you said. It should have been him saying it to her, but it was just a letter. That's kind of the only difference, really.
Oh, that's good then. So there's no others.
Yeah, not too much difference in between that.
Talking about the Hunger Games and slaughtering people, Predator 4's coming out.
That'll do as a segue, fuck it. I can't fucking wait for Predator 4. I don't know if that's the name of the title. No official title of the movie has been released yet. I can't fucking wait. I have been a fan of the Predator franchise for as long as I can remember. Loved the first one, loved the second one, but preferred the first one. Predators, the one with Adrian Brody in, I thought was very, very good as well. Alien vs. Predator 1 was okay. The second one was fucking awful. An absolute atrocious. An insult to both the Alien and the Predator name.
The game was shit. The Alien vs. Predator game for the PlayStation 2, I think it was fucking awful. I remember playing that.
What was it? Was it a real-time
It was just
strategy?
basic. No, it's just like a one side on one side, one the other. You going and you just got to kill each other. It's basically like an FPS, but with weapons, and you're an alien. One of them's a predator. You can crawl on the wall, shit like that. It was not very good, to be honest.
Anyway, the movie has been written by Fred Decker and Shane Black, and Black is directing. Those two have been making movies together since before I was even born, so there's obviously some good chemistry between the two. They know how each other thinks, they know how they work, they know their etiquette, their law, how they basically do business, so that's going to go smoothly. Shane Black, in case you weren't aware, also starred in the first Predator movie. He played Hawkins, who was the dude in the glasses, the one who kept making all the pussy jokes to Billy.
Oh, yeah.
Him.
I enjoy a good pussy joke.
Your pussy's a joke.
Yeah,
Anyway, since then, Black has written Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, He also directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I don't know if any of you seen that, but that was a very good movie. He also directed Iron Man 3, so he's no stranger to action at all. Potentially very good movie here. He's confirmed that it's a sequel, it's not a reboot. Cast-wise, nothing is confirmed or even been hinted at. Neither is a location, whether it's going to be on Earth or off-planet. But they're saying they're going to expand the Predator mythology, so who knows. But either way, I can't wait. I'm certainly going to review it. Ever since Predators came out with Adrian Brody in it, I was always like, how the fuck would I animate a Predator? So I'm looking forward to that challenge, at the very least, but I really can't wait. I remember ages ago in secondary school and almost primary school as well, even arguing who would win, Alien and Predator or whatever. The Predator was always going to fucking win. Even at their primal thing, without even any of the technology, I still believe the Predator would win.
Self-explosion.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. On his Twitter feed, Fred Decker, 29th of November at 11:35 p.m, he confirmed that the Predator 4 script has been turned in.
I just can't wait. There's very little news about this. It's quite fresh.
I'm just hoping they don't go heavily CGI. The great thing I love about like a lot of the old Predator ones, they got a bit of CGI in, but they don't have that much, which doesn't age it. That's when it starts to piss me off because they use so much. You watch some of these old films again, and you can really, really tell.
Yeah, I agree. When films overuse CGI.
You're going to go back into the fucking Hobbit again.
Yes, I fucking am. I fucking am. The Hobbit was aged as I was watching it.
I said
What
this
about the
shit.
Star Wars? The when they did the first three again, this afterwards.
Oh, when they
used way
remade
too much.
them.
Episode 1, 2, and 3, bit too much.
Yeah.
Started aging it.
CGI was proper sketchy. And...
Even the CGI they used in like the first 3 Star Wars, they were CGI. But the fact is, the lightsabers that didn't matter. That went well.
I find it lazy. CGI I find lazy. I know it's expensive and it probably takes a long time to do.
But it's not anymore.
Probably
But it's
isn't
not that
expensive
much
anymore.
anymore. I bet
No, it
so
would
many
cost
people
more to get the materials to make the costumes.
Yeah.
That's
and
what I like to
stuff
see.
like
I like to see some kind of authenticity in my films. That's
Which,
what I like.
credit to J.J. Abrams, there is no CGI in Star Wars films, apart
Thank
from
fuck.
possibly the
There's
lightsabers.
always going to be a little bit, and whenever they say there's no CGI, I think that's complete bullshit. There's always going to be CGI, there's always going to be a little bit, but it depends how they do it. Like the lightsabers and stuff, they're going to be CGI. But as I said, when it was in the original ones, it actually works. It's not shit, and it doesn't age it or anything.
Yeah, because
It
it
goes
is
really
old
well.
CGI.
Yeah.
You excuse it for being old, but when it's...
Well, it's not that old. It fits because it's a lightsaber. It's quite unique. It's quite different. It's meant to be glowing light from a thing. So
Yeah.
you're thinking
We can't
It
make
goes
a
well.
lightsaber. We
Exactly.
have to.
Yeah, yeah.
actually
computer-generated.
they've done a few things that they're getting close.
Okay, we couldn't safely use real lightsabers as props then. In that, if we're going to be like,
They've got a laser that for a split second is the exact same temperature as the sun.
There's a fun little factoid for you there, listeners.
right,
Yeah, so they are getting there, which is coming close to laser blasters and stuff like that. But it works. The Predator one, the few CGIs they had in there actually fits because it makes it look the old technology they had within the film. But now it looks terrible.
It just looks crappy.
Yeah.
Crappy and scrappy and dappy.
Do.
Do.
I'm picking up what you dropped down.
Yeah, you smell what you're cooking. Right, yeah, so yeah, I feel we should move on from this.
but no, we're not moving on yet. But yes, I agree with you. Dudes in suits better than CGI. I highly doubt they're going to be computer-generated predators.
And you have more respect to them when they're dude in suits because when you see the effort they pull in, oh.
It just looks more authentic.
It would be very difficult for the actors to have CGI predators.
I find it more, I don't know if you class it scary, more realistic for the fact that you've seen there because it is blending in so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's a tennis ball on the stick, you'd be like, oh, it's a tennis ball on a stick. But if it's actually some 7-foot dude wearing this shit,
Yeah.
you're going to actually feel the fear, and it's going to obviously show on screen.
Even the Predators at Comic-Con, when they're dressed like that and you're standing next to them, you're thinking,
There's genuine fear.
fuck, that is impressive. And when they still stand there, you know it's just a guy in a suit, but you're still like, that's
Yeah.
quite intimidating still.
Like, when you see it as CGI, you know that it isn't real because you can see how shit it is.
That's
so you
why-
don't get scared by it.
Yeah.
To be honest, as long as it's not like Alien vs. Predator 2, which was basically a teen drama with Alien vs. Predator in the background, it's an atrocity.
That's the one with the
Awful.
big pyramid, wasn't it?
That was the first
That was
one.
the first one.
What was the second one?
The one with the swimming pool and shit.
I haven't seen the second one.
Good.
I don't think I've seen the second one. The only one I remember is the pyramid one.
I feel like I'm a better person for having not seen the second one.
You are. You would probably appreciate The Hobbit more if you had seen the second one.
Probably would.
Talking about like awesome films back then, Rambo, they're going to do a TV series which is developed by Fox, and it's called Rambo New Blood.
I read somewhere, please correct me if I'm wrong, that it wasn't going to be Stallone. I know that he was going to be involved, but it was going to be Rambo's son.
Yes, he's an
It was.
ex-Navy SEAL named JR.
Is that short for John Rambo by any chance? Jeremy Rambo? Jamie Rambo?
I don't know on that one.
Jeffrey Rambo.
Joffrey.
Jermaine Rambo.
I am worried that it's in the hands of Fox.
I am as well. Well, Sylvester Stallone is going to be in it, and apparently it's going to explore their complex relationship. I don't really want to know more about that, but apparently it's going to be based in Nam again. So at least they're going to carry on around the type of era.
Any actors in it? Anyone?
I haven't really looked
None
myself,
actors,
but
none.
I know Stallone's going to be it and his son is, and that's really about it at the moment.
Is it Stallone's actual son?
I believe it is, yes. Like I said, he's meant to be an ex-Navy SEAL, so it'll be interesting. You know, a lot of other ex-Navy SEALs probably gone into
No, it won't be interesting. It won't be interesting at all.
It's sarcastic.
It's just going to be some fucking dickhead plonked in a forest, killing off some Viet Congers, doing some shit.
Do you know what the thing is?
It's going to be a sausage fest.
The thing is, as well, he's just literally come from that to go straight back to that. You think that'd be the one thing he'd want to go back to? I know he just went into a war and killed a load of people and shit, but do you want to go and do it on here as well?
Well, as an actor as well. No, I don't want to develop as an actor by doing other projects. No, I'm just going to reboot. Yeah. No, you'd think that as an actor he would want to move on to new projects. That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, as well, do you think during it he would actually break down having a flashback, and they're just going to record him having that flashback and just leave it in the actual, like, TV series? And we're all thinking, shit, that's really good acting, but seriously, he's actually just breaking down into tears of actual flashbacks. No flashbacks!
I'll be breaking down into tears if I have to fucking watch it.
I don't give a flying fuck about any of this shit.
I'm going to give it a go. I always give those shit a go. I give them always 3 after the 3rd episode. If it's no good, I won't bother. I gave Orange the New Black. I gave that a few. Well, it was pretty good from the get-go. I can't really argue against that. But I always think, like, you should give it a go because...
Well, I will be waiting with bated breath to hear more about this.
No, he's doing this shit again. Stallone, he's doing this shit with Creed. That new boxing film where Rambo's teaching this guy, but yeah, he's like bringing him up to be this kick-ass boxer. It's just basically going to be the same sort of shit, but set in a jungle that isn't Tropic Thunder. It's just going to be one of those cash in.
It's just a moneymaker.
Yeah, they're basically trying to cash in the nostalgia dollar in the most lazy way as possible. I mean, I haven't obviously seen any of this. I could be completely wrong. Don't really care if I am. I'm not going to watch it.
But without being me, think about majority of the stuff are really coming out now, apart from a very few. They're all either carrying on from other films or they're just turning them to TV series. To be honest, yeah, it's been like that for quite a while now. There's hardly very, very, very new, rare stuff now. The most coming up right now is like Deadpool. That's the only like quite newish one coming out film-wise.
Or it's action hero films mashing themselves together to try and create something new.
It's just getting ridiculous.
Was that a little dig at the new Captain America film?
Yes, it was.
Oh, wow, you're not playing fair today.
Yeah, I'm well on it now, man. I'm raged.
You've seen the trailer.
I have.
I showed you the trailer.
You did.
I think her reaction was... or something afterwards.
No, it wasn't that. I didn't show that much interest. My reaction was, yeah. That was my reaction. It's a copy and paste trailer. I've seen it, that kind of trailer, so many times before. It is just not interesting to me.
Anyway, the Captain America Civil War trailer. From what I've seen so far in its 2 minutes and 26-second duration, I'm guessing an off-screen threat towards the planet has surfaced, or something along those lines. And it seems like Captain America and a few of the Avengers, including Bucky, who is probably still wanted by the government for what happened in the Winter Soldier, they've gone complete vigilante and act without regulation, and Iron Man supports the government's influence and probably wants to take Bucky in as well, because it would be very hard to forgive and forget the shit he did in the Winter Soldier. Even though he was brainwashed by Hydra, it still was that guy who was doing all that stuff, which is why that big punch-up happened at the end. But you are right, it's a copy and paste trailer. We've all seen this sort of trailer before. I'm still going to watch the film. I'm probably going to review it. I mean, I have got the animations for it, so why the fuck not?
Be a copy and paste of the animations. You might as well just copy and paste your review. It'd be fine.
God, that's an amazing.
You probably wouldn't even notice the difference, man. Like, I feel like trailers are getting really lazy lately.
No, they really fucking are. And the one thing I really hate about them is they start to show too much of the film sometimes, and then it just starts to ruin it. Like the Star Wars one, I saw like the first three where it's like very few clips. It's like there's sand and a woman walking on it with the robot. Brilliant. Then you see another bit, there's a ship. Brilliant. You see these things and you know people are going to watch them. They're just showing pictures really, just a bit of a motion picture and people want to. But then of course when we were doing the Hunger Games, they started putting that other bit where I purposely didn't look and then you heard the Star Wars fighting and stuff like that. You're just thinking...
Oh, when you were in the cinema waiting for the Hunger Games.
I didn't watch. I told him, or Joe, to tell me when it's basically over because you just know that...
A Star Wars trailer.
Yeah. That little bit will be in the film and you're thinking... Well, that's just the clip I just saw now, and I bet that'll be the only clip of it. And I just think they're starting to put way too much out there. And the fact it's Star Wars, just putting a picture of the word Star Wars probably selling enough people there, just having that fucking word alone.
Exactly. People don't need more encouragement to see Star Wars. People will go see it.
Yeah.
From the tiny amount, even if they just gave us like a fifth of the amount of trailers that they have given us. They've given us a lot.
The first ones were brilliant. They're just little snippets to say... This is the type of scene we're dealing with. This is something a little bit new, but you'll find out more in the film. You wouldn't even
need that, especially with The Force Awakens. All you would need is you're sitting there at the cinema waiting for your film to start, and you could flash on the screen for 10 seconds, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, out December 17th. Do nothing from then on in. No trailers, no nothing, just that, and you just watch the tickets be pre-sold.
They've already made over 100 million and the film's not even out yet.
That's just pre-sale tickets alone.
Yeah.
No merchandise and all that
Nothing
crap.
else. They're going to sell. And when they started doing that, I was just thinking, that's why I said straight away to Joe, tell me when it's done, I don't want to see it. Because they put too much in. The woman going up that metal pole thing. Few little snippets like that, he just thinks, I wonder why she's going up there.
Yeah.
It looks quite dark, it looks quite scary, it looks quite... Ooh.
Give us some intrigue. Don't give us the whole fucking film.
Yeah.
In your 2-minute trailer. I don't want that. I want to feel hungry for it. I want to be looking forward to this film rather than thinking, well, I've practically seen it now.
There are a few trailers out there. You can watch a trailer, watch a film, you're thinking, to be honest, I've just seen all the funny bits in the trailer. I might as well just left it at the trailer.
A massive sin. A really good example of giving away too much in the trailer was the Two Towers. Of course, in the Fellowship, the last you saw of Gandalf, he was falling to his death in the Mines of Moria. But in the Two Towers trailer, he's there! He's on a horse, he's doing shit, he's speaking. I'm like, oh, so he's back then. He's given that part of the plot away completely.
They gave you a spoiler in the trailer, for fuck's sake.
It was in the opening 15 seconds of the trailer as well. It wasn't like he was... kind of like discreetly put away in the background or anything like that. He was there,
at the end.
Audio over it. Here I am. May as well have lights coming off him and his dick out. You know, it'd have been less subtle if that happened. But yeah, I completely agree. It was going well with the Star Wars trailers, and it's doing these whole TV spot things now. It doesn't help the fact that Mark Hamill has confirmed that Luke Skywalker is definitely going to be in it, and he's going to be alone a lot during the movie. So that basically tells me that they're looking for Luke for some reason. So there's that bit.
But they do. They need to really rein it in on the trailers.
Definitely. And they need to make the quality of trailers just better.
Yeah. Just include a few huge fuck-off robots here and there.
Yeah.
I'd
and
be
you'll
happy
be fine.
with a huge fuck-off robot.
They should have, that's how they should have had Star Wars. Huge fucking robot. What Star Wars?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Done.
He's a dangerous
Motherfucker.
motherfucker.
The next 50 Shades of Grey film, fuck-off robot. I'll probably watch it.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
I hope it would be made of dildos.
Just shoots dildos into women's vaginas and men's asses.
Nah.
Then into its own mouth and then passes out for a bit.
It leaves a trail of lube, like, a slug leaves.
Oh, because he doesn't use lube, but he wants you to know he doesn't use it by wasting it. But no, all they need to do, little snippets, enough to make you think like, ooh,
Intrigue, that's what I
That's
want.
it.
Make me want to watch your movie. Don't make me feel like I've already seen it before I've seen it. A really good example of a trailer was one I saw very recently. It was the latest Batman vs Superman one, where if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's really good. Batman is tied up in some underground bunker. Don't know how he got there. Then Superman flies down through the hatch, going into the bunker. A load of soldiers there are bowing down. He's walking through. Superman just stares at Batman, takes off his mask. End of trailer. It was fucking brilliant. Because that opens up so much intrigue. I want to see this movie now. How's this going to affect Bruce Wayne now that Superman knows who he is outside the Bat costume? It's making me ask so many questions. The only way they're going to get answered is if I see the fucking film.
Exactly, that's what you want from a trailer.
Yeah.
You wanted to grasp, you may want to go and watch it, not feel like you have watched it.
Speaking of Batman, Jared Leto has said that he will make Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger proud.
Wow.
He released a meme, the pictures of Jack Nicholson's Joker standing behind Heath Ledger's Joker with his hands on his shoulders, and Leto wrote over it, "Don't worry, Leto will make us proud." Rumour is the Joker in the Suicide Squad practically spends all of the movie behind bars, so I don't know how he's going to be a better Joker than Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger if he's going to be in a straitjacket in a padded cell. But who knows? It's going to take a lot. Everyone thought that Heath Ledger was going to make a terrible Joker before we saw it, and we all know how everyone feels about that. I won't obviously reveal my proper opinion on it until the actual movie has been released. I can't see him being better than Heath Ledger. I just can't see it. Who knows? We'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now, but I think it's a very arrogant move on Leto's part to release that picture, because Heath Ledger just got on with the fucking job and then let the movie speak for itself. His Joker speak for itself and let us form our own opinion, instead of Leto trying to be like, look, I'm acknowledging Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, like me, like my Joker.
I am very sceptical about him as the Joker, as I think a lot of people are.
I don't like him as a singer as the first off. And him
Oh, the
going
band
as
was
far
shit.
toward that. I don't think it's a good move. I don't like the idea. He could completely and utterly surprise and he could be absolutely fantastic, but I'm not having high hopes. I'm not having high hopes at all.
I feel like he's a caricature.
I read somewhere that he wouldn't come onto the set until people started calling him Mr. J.
Oh, good God.
I thought that was extremely pretentious because it is.
It is pretentious. That's a dick move, man.
The one thing I don't like about the look of the new Joker, which is going to sound weird, but he's too bright colourful.
That's what I meant when I said he looks like a caricature.
Yeah, it's too obvious.
He's too bright. He needs to be dark colourful. All the Jokers were dark colourful and all of that. He's too bright, and I don't like all these extra like tattoos of ha 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 damage and shit.
The damaged
like that.
one on his forehead was the one.
I
that
don't
really
remember any of the Jokers ever having a tattoo, and now all of a sudden he's covered in them. Like, when would the Joker ever fucking go off and get a tattoo? He's too busy doing other shit, killing people and all, not to sit there and get a tattoo done.
Who knows? We could watch the movie and be like, holy shit, amazing Joker, brilliant. But until then, we'll see, and we'll obviously talk about it after the movie's been released.
Speaking of a fucking joke, the Happy Meal toy, it's still...
Are we still doing this Happy Meal thing? I thought...
Damn right we are, it's a weekly feature. I've decided...
I'm frankly pissed off that you're a weekly feature.
Yes, so am I.
I'm even more annoyed that I'm a weekly feature.
Claire's
My
just happy
grade-
to use the excuse to have a Happy Meal weekly.
My grades are seriously pissed off that I'm
You've
a
got
weekly
like, you
feature.
had 2 Happy Meals last time, didn't you?
I only had one this time, so,
Mm.
well, I was having to seriously, increase my workout and I wasn't happy with that. Anywho, yes, the Happy Meal toy is seriously shit. It is still the, You Who and Friends, Be a Wildlife Explorer. I mean, there's a voucher and you can get a book and blah and shit, but no, I'm not feeling it. Bring on the Peanuts movie toys is what I'm saying. But, yes, today's toy is this one. It's blue. Here you are, guys.
What's this?
What do you reckon? Last week it was the meerkat that looked like it was on crack. Any guesses? This
It
one's a bit
looks
more
like
obvious.
it looks like a lazy man's Iago.
I don't know what that is.
The parrot from Aladdin.
Aladdin? Yes, I mean, I smell what you're cooking, but no, it's not a parrot.
I can tell it's some type of weird peacock.
It is a peacock.
That's a
well
fucking
done, Scott.
peacock.
It's a peacock. Yeah, the tail gives it away a bit.
It gives it away, like, massively.
Alright, here's
Hanging out of its ass.
the bigger
It's hanging
challenge.
out of its ass.
Here's the bigger challenge. Guess its name. Remember last week it was Pookie the meerkat.
Is it written on the label? Because I have...
No, it's not really. I already looked at the label on here. The most I got, if it is, it's either been called McDonald's or Made for McDonald's 2014. Made in China.
Good. That would have been an amazing
Its name is made in China. Well, no, it's not.
Oh, what a christening that would have been.
At least I know I can't iron it.
That's always important to know.
Buki?
Close, actually.
Oh, fuck.
Are they just going through the alphabet? So we have Aoki, Buki, Kuki, Dookie, Fuki.
Is it Kuki?
Uranu. Uvavu. There's a shout out to Shooting Stars. No, this one, which is hilarious, by the way, is called Peaky.
Oh.
Which, it's looking a bit fucking peaky right now. Yes, Peaky is a peacock. And the fun fact, my tail opens up like a fan to show off my huge, colourful feathers.
It never works for me at Subside.
The first pint's been poured there now. Have you seen it?
I've seen quite a few pictures there. I've seen the pool table.
Yeah, the first pint's been poured there. It looked flat as fuck.
Yes, there are new graphics. There is a new mascot on the Happy Meal box.
What's the mascot now?
It's a red Happy Meal box with a face. It also looks like it's on crack, just like Peaky does.
With the name of Peaky, I don't understand. I can understand why.
There is a very displeasing teeth to face ratio on this Happy Meal box, but no matter. I'm sure we will all get used to it. But yes, bring on the Peanuts toys. I'm fed up with this Wildlife Explorer bullshit these toys that look like they're on crack.
So is this label actually on real peacocks as well then, if they're trying to imitate it that well, with the made in China for McDonald's?
Yeah, all peacocks have the golden arches on.
Ah, that's alright then. I like his little wings.
If you want Peaky the peacock, along with the other rather vast collection of Happy Meal toys that seem to be piling up.
Littering our living room is what they're doing.
So email us at baileybanner@gmail.com. Take them off my hands. They will bring you much joy.
They even have little strings on their heads so you can make them strangle themselves.
Always a bonus. What else could you possibly need from a child's toy? However, one thing that does not bring me much joy is our weekly feature,
Dickhead of the Week.
Dickhead of the Week lands in my hands today. My gripe is with Oxford English Dictionary. As you know, I love words.
I love words too.
Yeah, I love words. So when I heard that Oxford English Dictionary were announcing the word of 2015, I got jolly excited. Personally, I think it should have been Swifty.
Good Swifty!
Good Swifty! Nice little Rick and Morty reference there. What do you reckon could have been the word of the year? Has to be like something that was created this year or was mainly used this year. Like how it was selfie in
I was about to say, it'll probably end up being something stupid along the lines of selfie, or I don't know what the new words are now.
Last year's was vape.
Vape?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Like, you know, the vape cigarette. Yeah, vape was last
That
year's.
is just terrible. So what's the new craze at the moment that it could be then? What's the new craze? Is it like some
What do you reckon? What do you reckon it could be? Have a little think. We got time.
Hipsters.
That's the word I was looking for.
Hipster.
Damn it.
Hipster. That's the other one I was thinking of. Maybe hipster or something. Fuck it, it's Star Wars. I might bring out Star Wars as a fucking one.
I feel that Star Wars may have been used before 2015. Want to hazard a guess, Joe? Scott's gone with hipster.
It's really hard to think of something. It's probably something stupid like the hipsters say, like hench or taunt, or some bullshit like that doesn't really belong there at all.
Well, I can reveal to you that Oxford English Dictionary has designed an emoji.
What?
as the word of 2015.
Fuck off.
You know the face with tears? It's
Yeah.
called, that one. The pictograph face with tears.
That's not a fucking word.
Exactly, this is my point.
Where,
How can a pictograph be a word of the year?
What I would
does...
say to them, say it in a sentence.
Exactly. How would you spell that?
Show me it in the dictionary.
This is my point. It's not a fucking word. It's like naming a vat of ghee as sports personality of the year.
How long did it take you to think of that?
Quite a while. I have a better one that's coming up.
Oh,
I'll
God.
grant you that it's reflecting the significance that visual imagery has in today's culture. However, it's not a fucking word. It's like giving Nicolas Cage the Academy Honorary Award for his contributions to film. It's not a thing!
But he nailed it, Claire. He nailed it in National Treasure 2.
I swear to God, if that man can still get work, that's all the motivation I need. It's the first time the list has included an entry that isn't a word.
He was alright in Con Air.
To be fair, Con Air is fairly decent. But after that, what was that terrible fucking film that I watched on accident? Like, On Demand?
Was it Bangkok Dangerous?
No, it was something about a witch. Let me find it.
So whilst you're looking that up, so people can now, I'm guessing, use this in emails. I could use it in a film review.
I might put that on my next time I have to do my driving licence. I might put a little upset face. Or next to a contract I sign. It's okay, it's a word.
Exactly. You cannot say that this is a word of the year when it's not a word.
So does that mean students can use it in their exams during an English exam?
Exactly. Can I just draw pictures when I'm doing an essay? No.
It's fucking ridiculous. If they did that, they'd just end up getting put down because they're saying that's not a word. And if they're put forward what the English Oxford Dictionary says it is, they're just going to end up saying, well, you're just trying to be a smart ass, aren't you? It's just thinking, well, it's in the dictionary.
It brings up some serious concerns for me. I am genuinely worried about the English language, and this is one of the reasons why. It is in serious decline.
Could I put it on my CV if I needed to? Just random smiley face with tears coming out of it.
Season of the Witch. That was a fucking awful film. Fuck you, Nicolas Cage.
Pretty good in Face Off.
Anywho, yeah, it's the first time that the list has included an entry that isn't a word.
So the dictionary allows non-words in its dictionary.
Yeah, it's no wonder that our English language is in such peril. I mean, there are graduate students who cannot form proper grammatical sentences. And I blame fucking this as the reason why.
So sometime in the near future, I will be reading this in novels.
Who knows? You could have a book of pictographs, of emojis, and no words fucking whatsoever.
So basically going back to the Egyptian time.
Yeah, we're devolving back to grunts and caveman paintings. That is what this is.
This will open the floodgates now. There's going to be so much worse than this in the near future. Because you tweeted.
Yes, I tweeted Susie Dent about this, asking her opinion on this. Susie Dent, for those who don't know, she is Countdown's lexicographer. She is all things that embodies linguistic analysis. This is what the woman does. She's very, very smart. She didn't reply to me, I might add. I was hoping that she would, and then I could have mentioned her reply, but she didn't. Yeah, I did tweet her about this because I was in such outrage. But yeah, Oxford Dictionaries, they've said that the symbol embodies a core aspect of living in a digital world that is visually driven, emotionally expressive, and obsessively immediate. Fuck off! Fuck right off with
It's
that.
lazy.
It is lazy. It is bullshit. It's not a fucking word. So RIP language. We may as well just fucking give up now. Fuck you, Oxford English Dictionaries, and the horse emoji that you rode in on.
Next year, it's just going to be a period, or it's going to be blank. It's going to be nothing.
So whereabouts in the Dickhead of the Week chart would you say this belongs?
Well, to recap, would you like a recap?
I'd love a recap.
Okay, so going from least dickishness to most dickishness, that's a thing. You've got flaccid dick, semi-flaccid dick, erect dick, which is where Activision is, super erect dick, where Universal Studios is,
Oh my fucking god, don't get me started on that again.
super throbbing erect dick, cock ring, shooting blood, which is where Nintendo sits right now,
Fuck Nintendo.
fuck
Carry on.
Nintendo, and Konami. I would say that because of how passionate I am about this and how much I do love words, I would say this is super throbbing erect dick. personally.
Okay.
Any qualms?
None whatsoever.
There we are. It's officially in.
It's official. Brilliant.
So yes, Oxford English Dictionary, fuck you and your super throbbing erect dickishness.
Good. That's sorted.
I can't stop playing with the poppycock thingy.
Peaky?
Oh, is it Peaky?
Peaky the peacock.
I'm going to rename it Poppycock.
Poppycock.
Is there any point me even going to a questions section in this podcast? Or because we've gone 2 shows in a row without anything?
Do my eyes deceive me? We do actually have an email. And by the looks of it, it's directed at you, Claire.
Fuck off.
It is. Just you. No one else. No one
Oh,
gives
wow.
a shit about us.
Well, why would they look at you?
Yes. Who the hell would want to ask the film reviewer any film-based questions on the film and TV-based podcast? Go on, what is it?
Obviously, you have been very new at this. No one speaks to us about films. I'll ask you about your penis size or drawing pictures or asking for your teeth or blood or anything.
Not that you're bitter about it or anything.
No, go on, what is it?
Well, it reads, I am an avid, barely breathing follower for my sins. I have one question. Is Claire single? She sounds like this hot girl I know from college. Holly, her name is. Much love. P.S. The game.
Oh!
Wow.
The killing blow.
What a question. Do they give us a name at all? Can I address this person directly?
Well, they didn't say if we are or are not allowed to say their name within the podcast, so I would say it may be best not to.
Okay, can I make up a pseudonym?
If you wish.
Alright, let's call her Stacey.
I was going to go with Vicky, but your choice.
Alright, we could go with Vicky.
Let's go with Vicky.
Yeah, okay. So we'll give this chick the pseudonym of Vicky just for the sake of confidentiality. Hello Vicky, I am glad to hear that you are an avid listener. I'm thrilled. And to answer your question, yes, I am single, and yes, I am that hot chick that you probably saw at uni. Feel free to come up and ask for an autograph, or a night together. I'm fine with that. Because you sound hot. I bet she's hot.
She sounds hot.
She looks like she'll be hot just from the way she typed.
Yeah, I bet her rack is incredible.
Oh,
So, Vicky, if you would like to send me your address, I'll turn up. No, I won't. I might, to be fair.
Send pictures first, then
Yeah, send
decide.
pictures. No, yeah, feel free to send me your address, Vicky, and I will happily offload these McDonald's toys onto you. You can have them all. So thank you, Vicky, for our first ever question. I am thrilled about that. And thank you to all our other listeners. Feel free to email at barelybanter@gmail.com. We'll happily answer all of your questions and queries. And we will see you next time.
Have a good week, and if we don't see you before, have a good Christmas. You're not going to say bye then, Joe?
I'm not going to say goodbye. I'm too busy devising blueprints for my huge fuck-off robot. I'm a busy guy. I don't have time for this shit. My big fuck-off huge robot is not going to build itself, Scott. I mean, I'm very busy. You don't want to know what I've done to your car to have to get this robot up and running. Seriously, it's a mess.
You've been in the house drinking all day.
What do you think the armor's going to be made out of?
Oranja blooms.